Yo, I'm still here. Still here. So did you hear that shit, right? Did you hear that? We talking. Yo, still here. Still here. Let's go. How y'all doing? Come on in. So we was just going live. I was going live with Dub. We was talking about mental health, hip hop, rap. She had to pause for a minute because she had to go ahead and watch this battle that we hipped her to. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm over here. Yo, what up, Star? You want to tap in? Tap in with me. Tap in with me real quick. Wow, Dub goes watch the battle. And shout out to the other homie, Trendsetter. Yeah, so
What up, bro?
this piece was good with you, fam. What's
Chilling,
good?
chilling, chilling.
Yeah, so I guess Dub's gonna go over there and watch the battle. So we can have something else to talk about with that. I was like, yo, you gotta check this shit out. Um, but yeah, like you said, man, like that timestamp shit. Also, I'm live on my caffeine side too, so you know, hey, we good, we're in a couple places right now. So,
Sure.
um, yeah, man, that all I've been hearing is crickets when I ask people, the main people about that shit, like as far as them people involved with everything, right?
Right.
Just in the bar. I ain't heard anything yet. Anybody said, "Oh, you know what? Nah, I ain't take nothing. Nah, I ain't do nothing." You know what I mean? I
Well,
understand it.
what they're trying to do is they're trying to do a good PR job by ignoring it and hoping that it's going to go away. But Lotto's not going to let it go away.
Nah,
I
and
wouldn't
like
either.
I'm not with that shit. Like we can't be with that shit because that's not fair to motherfuckers in rap in general. You
Right.
know, if that was the case, and that's what we agreed to, right? That should be stated some fucking way. You know what I mean? But
Right.
that's not what's going on. And that would that would take things in a different direction. I would want to know if I'm writing against somebody that has a team of fucking writers.
I mean, there's a the thing about it is what battle rap, that's not uncommon these days. There's a few rappers who have writing teams. There's a few of them. There's many of them actually. Not even a few. There's many of them that have writing teams. A lot of
I
them
mean,
do.
what you think about that? Do you think that takes away from the pride of the writer and
I
puts it
mean, I
into
think it takes away from the whole culture, period, because at that point you're not, I want to call you a manufactured artist, but you're not even an artist. You're somebody else's creation. Somebody's brainchild is what you are, you know, and it only hurts the artist because if something happened between you and that person, y'all have a falling out, he don't want to deal with you no more, you probably could expect to lose your next 5 to 6 battles until you can get somebody else to start writing for you again, or you make up with that person to start writing for you again. So
right,
I think it's stupid.
right. That shit ain't cool. Like really, like it's unheard of to me. Like because okay, I'm from a crew, but I still don't spit the shit that they spit. We all come with something different, right?
But
So why wouldn't the rappers think the same way when they step into a place to come and battle? You know,
I
like
mean,
I don't know.
you got to look too. We live in the age of just fakery. It's what
Right,
it is. It's a whole lot of fakery, and nobody nobody points out the fakery. They're cool with the fake shit, but they're against the real shit. Unfortunately, that's
right,
where we live. We live in backwards times now, but it
right.
is what it is.
Real as fuck. Real as fuck, man. I'm just out here sending out these little invites to the live right now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna see if this dude tap in. We're gonna see if he see who jump in here. Also, I was supposed to be talking to this guy pretty soon
Right.
about the battle he had. That was a pretty dope ass battle. I did not know he was basically. I consider him a freshman. He's a rookie this year,
Yeah.
and this is like he's at the point in the season where he's, it's the championship season right now. Championship
Right.
part of the season,
Risk 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 did very well, man. I think Risk did well. Taking up from 93rd. 93rd did very well. You know what I'm saying? But
90,
I think, it was 93rd's first time ever battling live. So, these stumbles are expected. There's a lot of emotions going on at that point.
right, 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 right. See, it's always a backstory. That's why people gotta tune into that 24,
Right.
you know, and then they get more of a backstory on what the fuck is going on. That's a
Right.
really good idea. To get the look of what's going on with the artist before the battle is coming on.
Right.
Before, what are they doing? You know what I'm saying? How do they prepare for that shit? You know what I'm saying? These are all questions that a fan would have. So
Right.
when they 24, they're answering questions. Stars answering questions with that, which is a real good thing. I like that whole concept. 93rd, he really came with some hard shit.
Yeah, he did good.
Shit. Like, this dude, like, man, if, like I said, it was the difference of, and this would have happened. Look, let me tell it like this. Both of them don't look like they're rookie.
Right.
As far as like performance wise. You know what I'm saying? It looks like they performed before and they battled before face to face.
Right.
So when I'm looking at it, it's like I'm looking at when Danny Myers is up there kind of like stumbling or something. You know what I mean? Everybody has their days and any given Sunday.
But 93rd didn't quit. Danny Myers quit.
Right. 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 That's why I say, look, come with something. Come with something. 93rd, salute to him because he did come with something. And he was heavy with it. If he would have had, it's something in his preparation, and I've done this before.
Right.
Something in his preparation where he didn't lock it, right? If he'd have really locked that shit, because I'm sure, right? He's probably spit through those rounds.
Right.
He probably went through those rounds and was cool, right? But then he got to the point, and then, it got a little different. I felt like he could have locked it a little bit more. The other battle was really sick too, and like I was telling you, I really want you to do that shit with the round. I haven't said anything about it. Did you read my message?
Yeah, I saw it. The only thing I'm still trying to weigh out how that will work, because if there's a 3 rounds and the judges give it to a person after the round, it's kind of hard for me to make them go to a sudden death because the winner's already been decided.
We'll see. It depends. Nah, not if the judges, they don't decide it. The judges got to vote. Like, look, is this hard?
Right.
Boom, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. But if that doesn't go to that point, then it doesn't get to that. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's the hard thing, because if the judges rule and they rule in favor of one person, there's no way that I can put a sudden death round in place. There's no way I can do it.
No, it wouldn't happen, right? It would be an unanimous decision, right? It wouldn't be a split decision. But if it was so close to a split decision to where they was like, hold on, this could be a draw. We don't want to see a draw. We want to see a finale. So then you have that.
It would never be a draw, because you got to remember, as I said, the fourth judge that's in is not a judge. It's an alternate. That's just to see who he would say would win. The only one that really counts is the three. So once the person gets three, you know what I'm saying, it's only three. Once they get two of the three votes, it's done. The fourth person is just an alternate to see what they would say, if they will go against it, if they will be for it. So it's pretty much like if you have three people that say Risk God won, and then the fourth person says, well, I think 93rd won. Only thing that does, it proves a point. What's up, Riz? It proves a point. It just shows that the majority rule wins. The fourth person was just showing what a 1% would think. You see what I'm saying? But it's not always going to be four judges. That fourth judge is just an alternate. That's the only reason why we have four. It's just an alternate. But the judges will always be three. The fourth, like I said, the fourth one just serves as a 1% that will either prove that 1% would have voted for this other person, or everyone would have unanimously voted against this person. In the case of 93rd, in the case of tied up, both people went in favor. All four people went in favor of tied up. All four people went in favor of Risk. So there's no 1% there that would have said, he would have won, or it would have been different.
Hmm.
Now, if I did something like, okay, to make it more difficult, I could say I'm going to use all four judges in the scoring system, which means instead of getting 2 out of 3, you now have to get 3 out of 4. Now, if 2 people said one person and 2 people said the other person, then, yeah, we would go to a sudden death at that point.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's a couple of different ways to make it work.
Yeah.
What do you think thinking about with the next event? Can you talk about it right now? Or
The
what?
next event we got it's going to be big. We're actually going to open up to the public. We're going to have tickets sold at the event and online as well. We got an online company that's going to be working with us to do the tickets for us. We're going to put some big names on this one. We're going to also make it a 4 card. We're going to have what they call it. We're going to have a halftime show and everything. This one's going to be pretty big.
Word.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty big. Live band. It's going to be pretty big. This one's going to be different.
Right on. Yeah. From the
You
last one.
might want to try to come out for the next one, man. It's going to be pretty big. We're going to have some guests in the house, man.
Where's it going to be at? Where?
It's going to be in Virginia.
Okay. In VA?
Yep.
I never been to VA.
SNRG. You know what? Speaking of good people, man, right here, SNRG, follow them. Follow them. Because what we're about to do, man, and just funny, I'm just bringing it up, but we're partnering with them, and we're going to make something really, really, really big happen, man. It's going to be a real good event, and it's going to change the way that you look at battle rap. It's not going to be your typical 2 people on stage and they rap and then everybody have fun and go home. We're not doing that, and we're going to really do something different. Like I said, just like more details on the way. We still got a few things we got to iron out and hash out. Me and this young man, great businessman right here, we're going to be linking up, and we're going to make this happen. It's going to be a really great thing. And I will say this too. SNRG, make sure you follow Samson, man. Lyrical Arts Radio, man. They do their thing. I've actually watched some of their stuff online with their performances and everything, and how they do things. I mean, they got everything going, man, as far as like designs, merchandise. They're doing everything, man. They're doing real good things, and I like what they're doing. And one thing I like about them too is we both have the understanding of we don't want to keep everything in just one demographic. Diversity is key. Diversity is everything. You know what I'm saying? Without diversity, you're in one lane. And as far as I know, the only thing that ever ran in one lane that survived was the Lincoln Tunnel. That's the only thing I know that ever survived. It's just one lane. So, but yeah, man, we're gonna do some things, and hopefully this event goes the way we want it to go. There will be more, and this venue will become the home of open season.
Right on. That sounds. I was wondering we was gonna talk about that. That's something popped in my head about that. And so you want to make that one venue or the main venue or like
The main, because we're still going to be going on the road and battling here and there. Like I say, you know, we had one in DC. We also have one in London. So we're doing a lot of different things all over the place. So we're never going to just limit ourselves to one place, but we're trying to make this place that we're working on right now the home of it. You know, so what we're trying to do is we're not what we're trying to do. Let me rephrase that. What we're going to do is establish a new flag and a new home for battle rap. New York had the crown before. Their time has come. Is over now. If you look at URL, salute to Smack, salute to RBE and them. But let's just be real about it. Their top rappers don't come from New York. They all come from all over the place, which shows me, being a businessman, a thinking man, which shows me that battle rap has gotten so far spread now that to the point that there's no one, even hip hop, period. There's no one place that can say we own it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's happening with battle rap right now. And I mean, you got guys over in London, you got guys in Australia, you got guys in I know guys in Hong Kong who rap. You see what I'm saying? And we were talking earlier, I know a couple of Filipino guys who will dice you up with lyrics. So it's too far gone for one place to say, okay, we're a mecca of it now. That's too far gone. I think that flag and that crown needs to get passed around. I think the next people to wear that crown is going to be DC, Maryland, and Virginia. DMV is going to be the next with that crown. And opening season is going to pave the way for that.
right. Well, you know, that's what's really good. And I was thinking about that as far as, you know, I always feel like maybe because I'm an American MC that it's our shit, you know, and I'm like, you know, okay, join us, you know, and we should take it worldwide because that's what we should do with the culture. And plus everybody embraces the culture, you know, so it's something that's good. I like it that they embrace the culture. It's better to be loved and hated, you know. So finally, you know, we know that they made hip hop to be loved and the communication of it for it to go, like he said, from fucking London to Japan like that and
Right.
back, you know. There's
Right.
people in different places that don't even know what the fuck I'm saying, but they just was bobbing their head to my beat.
You
I love
know,
it.
I'm
They
gonna
giving
tell
me
you. You know, I've been fortunate to have traveled a lot of places outside of the United States in my time. And I'm going to tell you something. I've been in clubs overseas, right? To where the average person you bumped into that didn't speak a lot of English. But when hip hop came on, they knew every song and they knew every word of the songs. You know what I'm saying? So that tells me right there, like I said, you know, hip hop has gone so beyond just one place being the king of it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, okay, some would say New York is the foundation of hip hop. Okay, there's a lot of people who believe that. If you ask me personally, I would say New York is not the foundation of hip hop. If I would say who is the foundation of hip hop, I could easily give that title to the West Coast. Another person would say, well, how can you say that New York created hip hop? No, New York put a name to hip hop. New York made it mainstream, but it didn't create it. Like if you look back before, the first rap group was Sugar Hill Gang, okay, according to New York. But when you look at it and you go beyond that, if you look at Sly and the Family Stone, Sly was already singing and doing music in rap format already. George Clinton was already doing music in rap format already. Dolomite was already doing things in rap format already. So you have to look at, if you're going to say you put a name to it, cool. You made it more mainstream, cool. You made hip hop mainstream. But did New York start hip hop? No, they didn't. You gave it a name. You took it mainstream, but you didn't create the art of it. And when you look at breakdancing, right? Breakdancing. Breakdancing smashed really big on the scene in the 80s, right? The crazy thing about it was that's not the first time we ever seen hip hop. Because if you go back again to the West Coast, you had, if I'm pronouncing it right, you had a group of Latinos, they call themselves Chicanos. They were already doing the pop locking already and talking with their hands. They weren't doing it as in the sense of it was breakdancing, but they were doing a pop locking. It was actually a means of communication, but they were already doing it already. You know, so I can't give that title completely to New York that they started hip hop. I just can't. I'm having a hard time don't wrapping my head around that one because it's like this. I'm over here on the East Coast, you're over there on the West Coast, okay? Who's to say that me and you woke up and thought the same thing at the same time? Who can say that's not possible? It's very possible. Me and you could have woke up at the same time and thought of the same thing. Does it mean that I created it? No. If I brought it out before you, doesn't mean I created it. It just means I brought it to the forefront. People really need to understand when you use the word creation, creation is a very, very big word. Depending on what you're using it towards. It's a very big word. You have to be careful when you say, I'm the creator of something. I'm the beginning. I'm the progenitor of something. You have to really, really be careful of those words that you're using because it can offend other people who will say, well, you came out with that in 1989. I actually thought of it and was doing it on a smaller scale back in 1970. You see what I'm saying? What, Mama?
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to look at it that way. You can't look at it like you were just the beginning. I think that's really silly to say that you were the beginning of something. That's silly. That's real silly to me. It's real silly. I mean, it's kind of like it's like what's another one?
Well, when I think about it, man, Ice-T, right? He's a West Coast rapper.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest foundational hip hop movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back rapping in the 80s, back then, you know?
Right.
So to me, it was, you wouldn't have like the Bomb Squad and all these people were all working together, you know, east to west. They were working together. But what happened, you know, back then, there was more camaraderie. And they got together and said, you know, the same thing you said. I thought about it over here in the East. You thought about it over here on the West. But we can make it work together. And then they made that shit work. So that's why Ice-T was out there rapping, doing his thing and shit, you know.
Right.
Ice-T, I don't know if he would have got pulled on and rap if it wasn't for him going out to the East. But he's a West Coast rapper.
Right.
You know?
Well, let me tell you this. It's funny. It's great you bring it up. First shall be last and last shall be first. Facts. 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 When you're talking about the first of things, right? I'm glad you brought Ice-T up, right? When you look at gangster rap, right? They'll say gangster rap started on the West Coast. But we know this is not true. The West Coast did not invent gangster rap. The very first gangster rapper ever actually came out of my city in Philadelphia. His name was Schoolie D. He made a song called PSK. The song was Biggie actually used it on one of his joints. Looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. He was the first person to ever talk about guns, drugs, money, and violence on records. He was the first. Remember Biggie Small did that joint, but he said B.I.G. is getting this cream. Bitches always saying, what the hell does that mean? B is for the bitches who can't understand. The song actually comes from PSK. Schoolie D PSK is getting this cream. People always say, what the hell does that mean? P is for people who can't understand how one fly nigga became a man. Eyes for the way it goes in and out, one by one, I knocks them out. S is for the way that's where that came from. Schoolie D is the first gangster rapper. Even Ice-T said, I pattern my song 6 a.m. after that song. And when you listen to those two songs, you'll say, oh, shit, 6 a.m. does sound like PSK. So, again, it goes back to the whole thing of you have to be very, very careful when you say you created something. I cannot say New York created that sound. I just can't. I can't say New York created hip-hop. Put like that. Let me rephrase that. I can't say they created hip-hop. Did they create a sound? Of course. I will say New York definitely created a sound for themselves. They definitely did. But when you look at New York sound, right, and here's what this is gonna be funny to you. Check this out. A lot of people don't know this, right? One of New York's most coveted producers is Primo, DJ Premier, right?
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing about DJ Premier is not even from New York. He's from Texas. A lot of people don't even know that.
Wow.
A lot of people don't even know that Guru is not from New York either. Guru is from Canada. His people moved to New York. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. Him and Primo actually met each other in school, in college, actually. I believe that was Texas A&M. They're not from New York. So again, we have to be really careful when we say, I created this, I created that. Even with battle rap, right? Don't get me wrong. Smack is the granddaddy of what we're doing now. But let's just be real. If you go way...
the architect, Norb says that he made this.
You know what? I mean? Norb is not even an architect of it. He's not. None of those guys are. Because when this culture of battling with words was created, none of these guys were here. You weren't here. I weren't here. Skyscrapers weren't here. Cars weren't here. You're talking about going back beyond Mozart time. Beyond that. You're talking going way beyond. You're talking hundreds of years before Mozart. They were already battling with words already. So we didn't create anything new. Did we take it and further it and turn it into something? Yes, we did that. But you got to be very careful about saying you're the progenitor, the creator of everything, because you're not. You have to be really careful. There's nothing new under the sun. And just like he said, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. That's true shit. And most people couldn't even wrap their minds around that statement. They'll say, well, what does that mean? Like, sit down and ponder on it. But it's a real thin line with that, man. Like I said, if we ever really trace everything that a person said they created and were the first, if you did your research, you will always trace and connect it back to something that came before what they said they created.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it, man.
It even happens with religion,
Yeah.
So when you look at the cross came from something. When you look at all these different symbols, the symbols came from something. So I'm not speaking on nothing that isn't book knowledge. People pick up a book and figure that out. I'm not going to be like.
Well, people don't like to read. But I'm glad I'm a reader. I'm glad I'm a reader.
I know. I feel you on that, dog. I feel you on that.
But people don't like to read. I'm a reader.
You brought up an interesting thing that I wanted
to
ask.
There it is. SNRG. Some never really get. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear that? Did you hear DJ K Slay shit?
Far as what?
Schoolie D.
You know what, man? You know what, man? Oh, he just followed you, Lyrical Arts. That's what's up.
Salute.
You know, man, battle rap, Goku, what's good, boy? I like K Slay, man. K Slay's a real dude, so I'm not surprised by anything that K Slay does is not dope. If somebody ever told me K Slay made something that's trash, I'd be shocked. So I haven't heard it yet, but I'll definitely look it up, man. But I already know what I'm going to hear, man. K Slay's dope and he's creative, and K Slay is one of those original DJs who really understands hip hop and loves hip hop so much to the point that he won't conform to anything new, and I dig that about him.
Right. I was thinking about that.
Again. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that, man. You really got to come out and see what we're about to do, man. We're about to do something really nuts. Right. So if you think the card we just did was crazy, what we're about to do is really, really nuts, man. Again, man, salute to SNRG, man. Yeah, man. I mean, he refused to conform to the new bullshit. And here's my thing, man. We need more people like K Slay. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I'm gonna say this too, because I was really, really impressed by these brothers, man. SNRG. When you get a chance, go look at them stuff, man. And I really like what they're doing. And again, I like diversity, bro. I love diversity. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on diversity. And one thing about I like about K Slay, he's not afraid to introduce new people, new cultures, and something new. You also got to remember, a lot of people don't know this. K Slay was actually behind what's my guy's name, man? Jin, first Chinese rapper.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was
Yeah,
actually
that's
behind
right.
him. A lot of
That's
people didn't
right.
even know that he'd been rooting for Jin and trying to get Jin in circles. And let me back up because I just now said something again that I shouldn't have said. He's not the first Chinese rapper. He's just the first that we heard of
Right.
mainstream.
Right.
See that right there? You got to be real careful of what you call the first and what you say you created. There it is, right there, man. You have
Because
to be
back
real
then, at
careful of
that
that.
time too, right? While
Yeah,
there was Jin was out, right? But there was also Dumbfounded.
right,
Okay,
right,
Dumbfounded was out here in LA doing his thing, but
right.
he wasn't getting as much looks like Jin was getting until he started getting on King of the Dot or
Well,
whatever.
that's what all things, man. Like for instance, right? We would look at back in the day and say Bruce Lee was that guy. Bruce Lee was unstoppable. Like little do you know, there was a guy out there who would have whipped Bruce Lee's ass. It's the same person who Bruce Lee took his fight style from. One of the people who also trained him that you never heard of, but you now know him as Ip Man, and he will beat your ass for you. If you see what I'm saying, we have to be real careful about who we say is the first, who is the best, who's the creator. You have to be careful about these things, man. Even with basketball, right? You can argue and say Michael Jordan was the best who ever did it. Me and
Right.
myself, I will look at you and say, no, he wasn't. Was he great
Uh-huh.
in his time? Yes, he was. But was he the best to ever do it? No. Because I could easily put up a good argument and say Kobe Bryant took his game to another level. So somebody would say, well, Michael Jordan got more rings. You know what I say to that too? I would say Tom Brady has more rings, but is he the dopest quarterback on the planet, or did he have a dope ass team built around him?
Yep. Because
You have to
people
ask
tend to
yourself
forget
that.
about Scotty.
You see
They
what I'm
forget
saying?
about the team.
The
Like we
team
had
is
a
what made
dope ass
Michael
team.
Jordan so dope. So you have to look at it like this. You know, you have to look at it if how does having a bunch of rings make Brady the best quarterback? But when you start breaking it down and you look at him as a quarterback, as a whole, as a quarterback, and then look at Peyton Manning, what makes Brady any better than Peyton Manning if you strip his team away? You'll come to
Mm.
find out really quick that Peyton Manning is the better quarterback. He's more well-rounded. He reads defenses better. He understands defense and offense. This is a man who can sit on the sideline and tell the defense and the offense what to do. He's that good. Brady was never that good. So it's things come down to a matter of opinion, but some things come down to a matter of fact. And again, we have to be creative. We have to be careful when we say, "You created. I'm the best. I'm first." You have to be real careful of those three phrases, man.
I feel you. Well, as far as like, because let's go to the Jordan thing,
Okay.
because um, this is my thought on it, right? I feel like I would disagree with you as far as the Jordan and Kobe. I still feel like Jordan is better than Kobe, and this is why. Because Jordan has had more competition, and the competition and the level of competition Jordan has had to go against and through to get to all of those different things. Nobody else has had that level of competition against them as far as all of these different years that I've seen. Like that's what's crazy about it. Like Kobe has had he's had competition, right? But I don't think it's to the like it's not Magic Johnson status or it's not like Dominique status or Larry Bird status. All these other certain players that we be like, damn, okay, like who the fuck would have got past the Knicks back then in the East if it wasn't for Jordan and them?
Well,
Nobody.
look at this.
Nobody would have got past the Knicks.
Look at this. I could easily argue that by saying, well, when Michael Jordan came into prominence at top of his game, a lot of those guys that he played with that were great competition, they were great competition before him. When he came up, those guys were at their peak coming down. Yeah. So you can look at it that way. Wouldn't Michael Jordan have been Michael Jordan at the era where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was at his height? Magic is at his height. Like, I mean, they're just peaking, getting to their takeoff level. I really don't think. I think it would have been a different scenario, to where you had too many people around who would have never allowed him to be what he was, because they would have never allowed him to do the things that he did. They would have never allowed it. Like,
you got past Barkley. You got past, Malone.
Right, but an older Barkley, not a prime Barkley. Barkley was nearly on his way out. Barkley only played a few more years after Jordan got to his top level.
He was MVP when they played.
Right, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You also got to look at this. When it comes to MVPs and stuff, man, I never really, because, and how we know the MVP system is fucked up and always has been, they gave LeBron James MVP when he went to Miami, right?
Right.
But the crazy shit about it is LeBron didn't win those games. Dwayne Wade won those games.
Right.
But they still gave it to LeBron. So it's a popularity match. And at that time, yeah, Barkley was probably the most popular for the shit that he was doing on the court and as far as fighting and getting all kinds of shit. He made himself prominent. He was a good damn player, too. Don't get me wrong. He was a very, very good player. But MVP, though?
Yeah, no.
I think it was a stretch considering so many people that were around him at that time, even on his own team. It's just kind of a stretch.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if you look at, right, like Michael Jordan, right? I like Michael Jordan to a degree. Am I a big MJ fan? No, I'm not. But here's the thing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was good, but what about John Paxson, who shot just as high as he did, point average just as high as Michael Jordan did? No one talked about Paxson, because John Paxson wasn't as finesse and flashy as Michael Jordan was. He was just a plain guy who got the job done, got his check, and went the fuck home. So you have to look at that. Mike didn't win all those games.
Right.
Also, let's not forget Michael Jordan's last ring. Don't forget, if it wasn't for Dennis Rodman getting that rebound and shooting that shot, they would have lost. They would have lost. Rodman saved that game for them. They would have lost. But you think that, but here's the thing. You figured they would give Rodman more credit, especially since he had the highest rebounds that whole entire damn game. He was rebounding his ass off and had more assists than anybody did, Michael included. But no one talked about that. They only talked about Michael. So I look at that, and when I say him and Kobe, right, I like Mike. But I can tell you this. Kobe at his best, Mike at his best. On a basketball court, one-on-one, I think it would be close, but I think Kobe would take him in the end. Kobe's game was just so finessed, man. It was, oh my goodness, man. Mike was good. Love Mike. But when it came to, let's just be real, a lot of things that Michael Jordan was able to do is because the people in front of him, for one, they already feared him. They were already psychologically psyched out when it came to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the Mike Tyson of basketball. Before you took to the floor, like, oh, shit, Mike's playing. I thought he was injured. Fuck, he showed up. They already out their head already. You know what I'm saying? To where if you would have told Michael Jordan at his best and stuck him in with these guys now, they're not going to hear that shit. Give a fuck who he is. Fuck him. He won't have to show me he the best. I'm about to get in his fucking face. So it was different. But I think
he had guys like that, but they just wasn't,
people were scared of Mike. They were scared of Mike. Flat out, people were scared of Michael Jordan. They were scared to play against Michael Jordan, bro. And like, all right, for instance, right? Check this out. Let's use Shaquille O'Neal and Yao Ming, right? Let's use them as an example. When these two met each other, right? Everybody talked about Shaquille O'Neal bully Yao Ming, he bully Yao Ming, he bully Yao Ming, but y'all kind of forgot Yao Ming put up like almost 47 points that fucking game. No one talks about that shit. So, and I feel the same way about Michael Jordan. I'm like, look, There were a few games while you were focused on everything that Michael Jordan did. John Paxson outscored him that game, but no one talked about it.
Gotti
Kobe
outscored.
Bryant.
Yeah,
When Shaq left, what did everybody say? Kobe's never going to see a ring. He proved them the fuck wrong. With with a half a team, he still pulled the ring. Michael Jordan can't say that. Michael Jordan had a hell of a damn team built around him. A hell of a team built around him. You can just go with. You can go with.
Yeah.
You can go with
The first
Paxson.
run was all right.
Snow. He had a team built around him. They were supposed to win. They were supposed to fucking win. It's kind of like when you look at Golden State when Steph Curry first met LeBron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why was everybody surprised that they won? Golden State was supposed to win. You got a bench full of shooters and a second string full of shooters and a third string full of nothing but shooters. You were supposed to win. I'm not surprised that it happened.
Right.
I'm not surprised that it happened. You know what I'm saying?
Like the Bulls had Craig Hodges. Craig Hodges was 3-point champion for a few years. Okay.
Right.
We got Hodges was opening up. He was the point. Okay.
Right.
Mike is the guard. We got two shooters already. We had Golden State before Golden State put that together. Then to come off the bench with Paxson, like you're saying,
right,
they're going to be capable of shooting how you talking about
from anywhere. And you know the thing about it is too, I would have to say the best level of competition is when Dr. J was at his height. Michael Jordan would have never survived in those times. He would have never been what he is now, unless he was on a team with one of them. He would have never been what he is right now. It wouldn't have mattered with your flash and your fancy move. It wouldn't have mattered. Those guys back then just played rugged basketball. They played rugged as shit. They played real rugged, and they didn't fear you.
But he had to go through that against the Pistons and the Knicks. Like he got beat up playing the Pistons.
He did. I will give you that. But here's the thing: you just said it yourself. That's two teams,
right?
Versus the whole league that Dr. J. Julius Erving had to deal with. That Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had to deal with. It was very different. It's very different. And I think with Kobe's athleticism, his movement, the way he moves, I mean, I don't think Michael Jordan would have been able to keep up with him for very long. And we also know that, remember what AI did to him? That shit was embarrassing what AI did to him. Yeah. AI made Michael look stupid, and it was time to fucking retire.
Yeah. You know, he was like, yo, hey, I'm a little bit quicker than you. He had to change his game up and shit, you know?
Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. One more time. He stood in front of Kobe before. Michael Jordan stood in front of Kobe before, and it didn't fare very well because Kobe wasn't afraid of him. And Kobe looked at it like, here's my moment right now to take the fucking crown from you. And he rose to the occasion. Like I said, man, Michael Jordan is good. I like Michael Jordan, but it's also kind of like boxing. Muhammad Ali is hailed as the greatest. But let's just be real. Mike Tyson would have knocked him the fuck out quickly. It wouldn't have took long. His style was tailor-made to get fucked up by Mike. You know, let's look at, again, Bruce Lee was great in his time. But let's just be honest. Off that TV shit, Jet Li will beat the shit out of him. He was faster. His style was more finesse than Bruce Lee's was. The same thing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was great, but Kobe was faster. He was more agile. He had faster eyes than Michael Jordan, and he had a faster thought process than Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Not taking nothing from Mike. Mike did his thing, but let's just be real. One person really, really needed that team, and one person didn't.
Right. Well, Kobe needed a team because, like, to me, the Lakers at that time ended up being set up like the Bulls were set up. And, you know, he's really like Jordan Jr. or Jordan number 2, you know, but
yeah, I say that.
He's like up a higher level in a way because he's like, yo, I'm the Jordan that'll come out and bust for 81 points on you. You know what I mean? And that shit was dope, right? You know, the last game he had, he said,
oh my goodness, that last game. That last game, whoo!
Kobe dropped
He went out
60.
better than Michael Jordan's last game.
Yep. Right. Right. We want to think of his last game as the one in Utah and shit, but
Nah.
it's not.
Mm-mm.
Like I think his last game maybe he scored like some shit like 12 points or something with the
Yeah,
Wizards, you know.
it
But
wasn't that good.
I understand.
But look,
he
man,
wanted he wanted to
it's
grow and be an owner.
yeah. I mean, but then but that's gonna be throughout time, man. Just like with Smack and RBE, they're doing their thing. But when you look at what open season is bringing, I have a younger and fresher mind than them. I'm thinking different from them. What y'all were doing the old traditional way, it was cool, but now it's time for a fresher mind to come in and do something different and take it in a different direction. And I'm pretty sure 8, 10 years down the road, the next guy's going to wake up and start a battle league, and he's going to take it in a different direction from me. You know what I'm saying? And then I will be the old granddaddy guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just how it works, man. But, I think what we're going to do, though, is going to take somebody with a real, real special mind to top what we're about to do, because my thought process works so differently because I believe in being different. For instance, right? When everybody was on BMWs and Mercedes and they were loving BMWs and Mercedes, I didn't. I really wasn't really interested in them. Me myself, I like 4x4 trucks that sat real high with the lights on top. I just fucking loved them. It was great. So I could do more with it. I could drive anywhere with this shit.
Right.
When everybody was on, again, Mercedes and BMWs, I like Trans Ams. I like Firebirds. I like Camaros. You know what I'm saying? My thought process was different. And a lot of that comes from the simple fact that I just don't want to do what you're doing. I want to be
Right.
different. So if everybody's going left, and if 50% of people are going left, if 50% are going right, I'm just either going to just walk straight. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna walk the other direction that y'all just came from. You know what I mean? But I don't like conformity. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, there'll be somebody to pop up and they're going to see what I'm doing and they're going to perfect it and take it to another level as well. So I mean, it comes with all things, man. But Kobe Bryant was better than Michael Jordan.
He had I
Kobe's
feel
better than
like
Michael Jordan.
I think I would love to see them played more on the same team or some shit like that. But I don't know. I still find it like I know this. Kobe Bryant is better than LeBron James.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah! Oh
But
definitely, definitely. His game is
everybody out
way better than LeBron's.
everybody want to give LeBron the crown out here though over
Nah,
Kobe.
nah.
And before Kobe passed, man, I've been sitting there like
Mm-mm.
thinking about that shit and talking about that. I was like,
Nah,
look, how are y'all all giving this dude the crown
nah.
before.
That's
But it was
like that's
Kobe
like
kind of
giving.
passed the torch to him,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
you
gonna tell
know?
you something. I'm gonna tell you something, man. LeBron is he's just big. It's kind of like the argument of Biggie being the best rapper, right? People had the argument, Biggie or Tupac. Tupac is better than
Hmm.
Biggie. It's just what it is. The body of work proves it, and the way he evoked emotion out of people proves it. Biggie was a dope rapper, and he was good at what he does. But let's just be real. Big was in hip hop expendable and interchangeable. And here's why I say that. There's one person, if Biggie was still alive, there's one person in New York who would have always, and I had this argument all the time, who would have always been better than him and would have surpassed him. Do you know who that is?
Hmm.
Do you know who that is?
It's a couple people, I think.
There's one who would have always surpassed Biggie.
So you think Jay would always surpass him?
Jay-Z would have always surpassed Biggie. Always. Here's the reason why. Big was good in his time. Jay-Z was dope in his time, but Jay-Z makes better music than Biggie. He also had a more consistent work ethic than Biggie. It's just what it was. It is what it is. But we give the crown to people for moments in time. Don't give the crown, just like the source. Don't give him 5 microphones because his album came out when he died. That's a shitty reason to give somebody 5 mics. Because when you dissect that double disc album of Life After Death, if I rated it on a 1 to 10, it would be about a 5. The reason why I say a 5 because I hated half the album. Half the songs that were on there, I hated them.
And you
I
fast
just
forward.
did. I fast forward through a lot of songs on there, especially "You Nasty Boy, You Nasty." That shit was trash. Going back to Cali, as much as people celebrated, I hated the song. In all honesty, I hated it. It sounded like you were trying to do something that was out of your element by rapping on that type of beat with that sample and that West Coast feel. It didn't come across natural, and I fucking hated it. There were a few songs on that album I didn't like. It's just a few songs I didn't like.
You know, I love the dope.
It was cool. Oh, I love the dope was all right. It was cool. I love that song. It was dope. But when you listen to that song, Jay-Z was better on the song. It became a Jay-Z song instantly. Now, when you look at Tupac, right, and you take All Eyes on Me, this double disc, I can put them both in. Didn't have to touch it, not one time. Let it go. Didn't have to touch it. Just let it go, and just let it go. If I did have to say one song that I did not like on that album, it would be How Many Niggas Fell Victim to the Streets. Rest in peace, young brothers that are heaven for it. Life goes on. I hated the song, in all honesty. I absolutely hated it. It just, I look at the song and I'm like, I get the message, I get what you're saying, but the beat just didn't do it for me. But that's one song versus many on Biggie's. When you look at Wu-Tang Clan's double album, the Triumph album. Oh, yeah. Love this album. Classic. Dope. I loved it. But I can still only give this shit a 7 because there were songs that I didn't fuck with. What's up, Kinesis? There were certain songs that I couldn't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? So it's a matter of taste, but at the same time, you can't get legend confused with ability because, I mean, like I said, Big was great.
Shout out to the anniversary of that album because it fucking came out this summer, bro. Like this summer. I remember fucking getting it.
Yeah.
It was an album at the time.
Yeah, it was dope.
And I would say the same thing. I would give it a 7.
Yeah, it was a 7 to me. Biggie was dope, but Jay would have passed him. Michael Jordan was dope, but Kobe was better. His game was just better to me. Muhammad Ali was good, but Mike Tyson would beat that ass. No, it's just what it is. You know, Floyd Mayweather is great at what Floyd Mayweather does. But if you ask me, Manny Pacquiao is a way better fucking fighter than he was. He has a better resume than Floyd Mayweather. He actually fights you and he doesn't run and he's not boring and he's exciting to watch. And for the simple fact that he's about to fight Errol Spence next month is bananas to me. For the simple fact that he beat Keith Thurman, he beat Adrian Broner, which is bananas to me. He knocked out Matisse, which is bananas to me. That makes him the best because Floyd would have fought none of these people. He ran from these people.
That's true.
So you're not the best. You're just not the best to me. You're just not. So again, we must be careful of what we say. We're the first of what we created, and we are the best. We have to be careful of those 3 realms because somebody can easily, and like I said, if you trace everything back that somebody said that they created or started, you'll trace it back and find out that somebody did it before them, and that person wasn't even from the same place they were from. It always works that way. It always works that way. It always works that way. Just like I've heard 3 different stories of who started the scratch. I've heard 3 different damn stories. I heard it was Kool Herc. I heard it was Theodore the Wizard. I've heard so many different stories about who invented the scratch, bro. It's not even funny. What was the other one? The other one was what was his name? Was it Flash? Let me see. Yeah, Grandmaster Grandmaster Flash. He said he also started the scratch. So which one of you motherfuckers did it? You see what I'm saying? So everybody wants to claim that they're the first with something, but you're not. You're just fucking not.
But let me tell you this, right? Before I knew what hip-hop DJing was, when I was a baby, the first thing I did was scratch the fucking record.
Yeah, we all did. We all did.
You know what I'm saying? So who invented the scratch? I did.
Right.
DJ Starr
Right.
did.
You know what I'm saying? So the shit's crazy to me, man. It really is. Kinesis, what's good with you, man? You still over there? You still over there battling with them folks? You see what we just did and what we about to do? Oh,
Yeah. Revision
coming
history.
to coming to a theater near you.
Yeah, man.
Vision is
Right.
history. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
They say victory has 100 fathers. How about that?
Right. And yo,
How
man,
about that?
you know who it, you remember Cesar Chavez, Julio Cesar
Hmm.
Chavez?
Oh, do I? He's a
Great
monster.
boxer. Right. He wouldn't have ran. He wasn't with that running. You know what I mean? He
Well,
stood there in front of motherfuckers and had some serious
oh
battle.
yeah. Well, if you're gonna look at who's the best based on record, Julio Cesar Chavez never took a loss until his 108th fight.
Right. That's crazy shit.
That's way beyond 50, which means his record was better than Floyd's.
Mm-hmm. Right.
How come I'm putting him up in history?
Right.
You said you get paid to show up. All my battlers get paid to show up. Every last one of them do, and they happy about what they got paid. But I told y'all that from the beginning that it was going to be very different we were doing over here, but people laughed about it. Nobody's laughing anymore. People more like they're upset now. They're like this. Fuck him. Fuck him. I hope he fails.
Oh
Let
man.
me tell you, man, we got a lot of that, bro. From these other leagues, one that she was a part of before. They just hope that we failed and all these things. And when the first battle, like with the AB and Whispers battle, I dropped that battle. They didn't leave it. I didn't want it. I end that battle, and they took that over there as to say, oh, he fell and blah blah blah. And y'all heard all the talk, but the thing about it is, what people don't understand about people like me, when I'm quiet, you should worry. That means I'm about to do something. You should worry at that point. And any time that I'm going back and I'm going to the drawing board of something, whatever I'm about to create will be bigger than what I did the last time. And when it becomes a success, I don't just sit because I don't believe in the word of success. I don't believe in the word success. You know what success means to me? Success means to me, I need to try harder. That's all it means to me. That means everything that I did just now, I have to wipe the board clean, go into the next level, and completely beat what I just did. So the word success means nothing to me. A lot when you start relying on the word success and you fall in love with the word success, success will keep you lazy and success will keep you complacent. I don't believe in success. I believe in being constantly hungry, and I'll be successful when I'm ready to retire and walk away from the shit.
I feel you. What up, Boss
Boss
J? What's good
J.
with
What up,
good
Boss
with
J?
you? Yo. Yeah, definitely, man. It's always about having that drive and that want and will to
Exactly.
continue, you know.
Exactly. I don't use the word success. I don't use the word success in anything. I just say, okay, it worked that time. Great. Let's move on to the next one and do it bigger than we did the last one. And let's just
Right,
keep going. So,
right.
I don't believe in success. Like I said, success keeps you complacent. Everybody who I know who thinks they're a success, they got to one place where they thought they were successful and they stayed there. It became their ceiling. I don't believe in ceilings. You know what I'm saying? I believe in keep going until I just can't go any further anymore. But at the same time, the flip side to that is I don't believe there's no limit that I can't go to. So, I'm just going to keep going until I sit back and look at everything behind me that I created and say, okay, I'm ready to sit down. Now I have been a success. A success is not what you're doing. Success is determined by when you've gotten to the end of what you are trying to create. That determines your success.
Right. But then
Definitely,
you
definitely
determine when
SNRG. Salute to SNRG Music. Y'all make sure y'all go follow them. They're doing really good things, man. Really, really, y'all guys follow them. They're doing really good things. And
right
I will
on
see you this week, bro.
right on now. Thank you, man. Thank you for
So yeah,
checking up.
man. I don't success is when you're finished doing whatever you're doing. That's when it's successful. Like when a construction company builds a house, right? Do they look at that house and say, "Oh, that's a success"? No, they say, "Okay, now let's go build the next one." You see what I'm saying? when everybody's careers are done and they're too old to do it or they don't want to do it anymore, they want to enjoy the fruits of their labor, then they can sit back and say, hey, look at everything that we built around here. That's a success. Then you're successful.
Well,
Bill Gates is successful? No. Bill Gates is not successful. You know why Bill Gates is not successful? Because Bill Gates is still out here chasing and making more money. So he's not successful.
Yeah, that's true. He got a lot of shit going on for sure.
Yep. Shoot, bro. I'm about to get off.
And he tried to start like the shit he was doing in Africa with the toilets or whatever.
Oh, fuck him. I really don't like that guy. Fuck Bill Gates.
There's something else behind it. It's
Yeah,
always
fuck
something.
him. His vaccine is killing people, but people keep lining up like dumbasses and taking it, so good luck with that. But, bro, I'm about to get off of here, play a couple rounds of Grand Theft Auto, and pass out.
Right on, man. Yo. And, make sure, everybody following, make sure y'all go ahead and check out Clash of Champions.
Oh, yeah, check that out.
Check
that out.
Event is out now on Open Season TV, YouTube.
Yes, sir.
We'll check that out. Also, go ahead and check out that motherfucking interview we did with Lotto.
Yes, sir.
Like my boy said, he got timestamps.
Yep.
Before you go on, go ahead and break that down real quick. You got timestamps for this shit. You got
the video. I actually seen the video of the bars that Hitman took from him, and they are timestamped that Lotto used the scheme before him.
Wow.
And Rosenberg, he used the scheme before both of them. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Shit. Well, there it is. Like that's what
it is. What it is.
Well, see now, maybe after the event, their event is done, so maybe they'll come to the platforms and talk, right?
Yeah, we're hoping so, man. We're getting attention. People are still hashtagging and talking about it. So hopefully we can get to a point to maybe we can sit down with ARP and put together a big event for him to battle Lotto. So we're trying to see what happens with that.
Mm-hmm. That'll be interesting. I can see that.
Yeah, we're just gonna need everybody to keep hashtagging it to ARP and see what happens.
Right. Well, hey, I slid it to them. I also, shout out to Norbs. I know, we chopped it up a little bit. Me and Norbs, we chopped it up a little bit. And Norbs ended up, he's kicking it out there with ARP and all that. That's cool. I fuck with ARP. What I want to see is the same thing, like you saying. I want to see a resolution. I want to see a battle between Hitman and Lotto, and Rosenberg and Lotto.
Maybe we'll get to see it. Soon, bro. Shit, man. Hit me tomorrow, man.
Definitely. Yep. Have a good night, man. Thank you for tapping in with me and all that shit, dog.
Anytime, brother. Peace.
Peace. Yeah, man. It's crazy. A lot of the shit that's been going on, like we was talking about the shit with the homie Lotto. Lotto, he said the homie took his bar. But then nobody want to say shit about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's interesting. But like Starr said earlier, they on a different type of campaign with it to where, it's like don't talk about the negative and then it won't be anything going on. It'll be something else, So we'll see what's gonna happen with it. But yeah. We'll see if we can get the other homie back on pretty soon or maybe tomorrow, next week, something. Who knows? Who knows? But until then, I'm Samson, this Lyrical Arts Radio on motherfucking IG Live. I'm out. Make sure you go to the podcast, Lyrical Arts Radio, wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts, all that good shit. Right. Peace, 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 peace.